You ever wonder how Japanese toilets know exactly where your butthole is?
I've got you in my sights.
Well, they do have a sensor, but it's just to detect if someone's actually sitting on the toilet to prevent, well, this from happening.
Oh, good lord, it's everywhere!
Sales of washlets began in 1980. However, there were two big problems in development. Streams were either too high or too low, and the water was either too hot or too cold. Toto assigned 5 engineers to tackle these problems. To find the position of people's buttholes, they got a wire.
I don't like where this is going.
And placed it over the seat of the toilet. Then they sat on the toilet and placed a red piece of tape where their butthole landed. They needed a large sample for their research, and they decided on 300. Since asking strangers to do this would have been, well, embarrassing, they surveyed people from within the company, which must have led to some very interesting water cooler talk. After surveying 300 people, the engineers made a startling discovery. And that was, despite size differences in height and weight, people's buttholes kind of lined up. They discovered that larger people tended to sit more towards the front of a seat, and smaller people tended to sit more towards the back, which resulted in a very similar positioning. They found that shooting water at a 43-degree angle would almost always hit the sweet spot. And now for the problem of the proper temperature. Since everyone has different preferences, they wanted to find a good standard default temperature. They did this research themselves. They sat on the toilet and sprayed water while adjusting the temperature and logging how comfortable they felt. The research was extensive and lasted for days. They also had to answer the question, how hot is too hot? Yes, they had to push their buttholes to the limit.
Push it to the limit!
The results? Anything hotter than 48 degrees is dangerous. Which, common sense should probably tell you.
Fire in the hole!
But they did find that the ideal temperature was 38 degrees. With the perfect positioning and comfortable temperature, sales of washlets really took off. I feel it's also worth mentioning Toto's 1982 Washlet commercial, which stars pop star idol Jin Tokugawa. In the commercial, she smears blue paint on her hands and asks the audience what they do when their hands get dirty. You wash them. Well, why is your butt any different? Our butts want to be washed too. The commercial did stir some controversy because she used the word butt, which is, I guess, too edgy of a word for 1982. Anyway, 3 out of 4 residences in Japan use washlets, so they've become a pretty standard part of life.